Hello to the vaccinated and unvaccinated alike. It is January 5th, 2022, and if you live in Ontario, Canada, I would like to wish you a very merry lockdown and a happy 21 days at least to slow the spread. All right, it is January 5th, 2022, and if you live in Ontario, Canada, you are now subject to not the first, not the second, not the third, but indeed the fourth lockdown in this province, because obviously the fourth time is the charm. Today, we have regressed into a modified step 2 of Ontario's roadmap to totalitarianism. So, if you live in Ontario, what in fact does this mean for you? As of today, January 5th, indoor gatherings are limited to 5 people. Outdoor gatherings are limited to 10 people. Weddings, funerals, and retail stores are all at 50% capacity. Gyms are closed because, working out is bad for your mental and your physical health. Music venues are closed. Movie theaters are closed. Indoor dining is closed. But worry not. Outdoor dining is still permitted in January in Canada. I'm just going to go ahead and put up Toronto's next week of weather right here, and we can just all laugh at that. So while you're freezing your butt off dining outside, remember, it is illegal to sing or dance at your outdoor dining experience because in Ontario, we've outlawed fun. Okay, so we were supposed to never lock down because we were supposed to all get vaccinated. That was supposed to be the metric that got us out of this mess, right? You just go get vaccinated and then the whole world goes back to normal. This hasn't seemed to happen. But just for the fun of it, let's look at Ontario's vaccination rates to see where we're actually at. As of January 2nd, 2022, more than 27 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine have been administered, with more than 90% of Ontarians aged 12 and over having received at least one dose, and more than 88% having received at least a second dose. More than 43% of children aged 5 to 11 have received their first dose, which in my opinion is terrifying, and over 3.7 million booster doses have been administered, including to 47% of individuals aged over 50 and more than 31% of individuals aged 18 and over. So the long and the short of it is, in Ontario, we're highly vaccinated. So why are we locking down again? Oh yeah, it's the unvaccinated. It's the pandemic of the unvaccinated. Everyone hide your kids. The unvaccinated will make them sick. Well, turns out that whole story isn't true either. Because if you look at the data, and call me old-fashioned, but I still believe in data. The data says, according to the government of Ontario, that there are more vaccinated cases per 100,000 people than unvaccinated cases per 100,000 people, which means at this point, vaccinated people are spreading it at a higher rate than unvaccinated people. Also, according to the government of Ontario, there are more vaccinated people in the hospital currently due to COVID than unvaccinated. So, pretending like we're going to boost our way out of this, or if we just get those damn anti-vaxxers vaxxed, we would all go back to normal, it's a pipe dream. It's not realistic. It's not supported by data. It's not going to happen. So we have to be realistic about where we are. So if we're locking down, we must be seeing an increase of deaths, you would think, because that's the metric we actually all care about. At least we should. No one wants anyone to die of this disease, no matter which side of the aisle you are on. So let's take a look at the death rate compared to earlier last year. So on August 30th, our 7-day rolling average for death in Ontario was 14 deaths. Yesterday, January 4th, the 7-day rolling average of deaths in Ontario was 13. So we have not yet seen a massive increase in death from the Omicron variant. Is it possible that we will? Certainly, there's potentially good argument to be made there, but we haven't yet seen that. And there's also a good counter argument that says this Omicron variant that we're all facing now, It's highly infectious, but it's not very potent. It's not killing the same amount of people that Delta or Alpha was. That's certainly the data coming out of South Africa, where this originally came from. Okay, so we're not seeing deaths yet. There must be some greater good that we're aiming at. There must be some justified reason that we're locking down again. I don't actually think that there is. I really don't. We need to stop pretending like the lockdowns come at zero cost. It is no secret that lockdowns are crushing small business. They're bankrupting families. They are perpetuating drug and alcohol abuse. And perhaps most importantly, they're really injuring our children who are either not going to school or going to school with masks on their face or are afraid of their friends because their friends might give them some virus that kills them. It's damaging the people of Ontario. We can't pretend like lockdowns come without a consequence. In fact, Statistics Canada published a statistic stating that lockdowns have killed more people under the age of 65 than COVID itself. That's insane. Let that sink in. Lockdowns have killed more under 65 than COVID itself. So I get it. COVID is scary. Omicron is scary. No one wants anyone to die. No one really wants anyone to get sick. None of us want that. But the Ford government is asleep at the wheel, and they are damaging the lives of the people in Ontario with bad policy. It is up to us to just say no. I'm done doing this lockdown thing. I'm not doing it anymore. It's stupid. It's a bad policy. It's not supported by data. It needs to stop, and it is up to us to stop it. So I want to leave you with a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. that I think is pertinent today. He stated something powerful when he said, "One has a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws." I think that's where we're at as a province. I think that's where we're at as a country. This is no longer supported by data. It's just not there. We have to do something about these unbelievably dumb measures and policies. So just say no. If you're healthy, hug your neighbor, hug your friends, hug your family. If you're sick, stay home and hug your dog. Take care of the ones you love. Have a conversation with someone you disagree with. Be kind to each other. Stay safe and live your life.